you want to be rich, be obsessed with making money. So I saw this video the other day by this very popular YouTuber that I follow. He has over 5 million subscribers, and he spoke about a very powerful topic: how to be rich. And when I watched that video, I was quite fascinated. Now, I've watched this video for a while, but the details and the things that he said in that video, for some reason, it has sat in my mind and it just made me, think. So this video is not one of those videos where I educate you as a personal finance educator or as your personal finance friend. In this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on something, and I want you to also share your thoughts and tell me. This is a conversational kind of video because let me tell you what he said. So the title of that particular video was How to Be Rich, and the things he said in that video left me fascinated. Is it fascinated as a word? Or I just found it rather interesting. I found it rather like, it made me think, it made me actually sit and think, this is what it takes to be rich. So he said something along the lines of, in this video, he said the way that he became rich was that he became obsessed with the idea of being rich. He became obsessed with being rich. He wanted it badly. And that was how he became rich. And that is the biggest advice you can give to anyone that wants to be rich, because that is the most popular question people ask him. How do I make more money? How do you do this? Money, that. Every time people ask him questions, they are all boiled down to making money. And so he said that what he found out from his own life was that he became obsessed with the idea of being rich. Now, if you want to be rich, be obsessed with being rich. I'm going to take that again. If you want to be rich, be obsessed with making money. That will not sit well with our very moral folks, whether you're Christian, Muslim, Buddhist. If you're very moral, very thou shalt not be greedy, thou shalt not, chase money, that will not sit well with you. But I gave him a chance even after he said that, because I'm someone that gives people a chance. I gave him a chance and tried to listen to the whole video. I think the video was quite long, I think over 20 minutes long, but I gave him a chance because I wanted to hear his opinion. I wanted to hear his thought, like, okay, be obsessed with being rich. Okay, what are you saying? And from his video, I honestly got his point, because of course you can always tell the energy and vibe that someone is using to teach. And it wasn't from a prideful standpoint, it was more of trying to teach a particular ideology. And I got his point, even though as a Christian, and I'm going to get to that, but I got his point, and I want to share that point with us. And I want us to tell me our thoughts, tell me your thoughts, tell me your opinion, what you think about what he said. So from his video, he insinuated that you don't get rich by mistake. People don't get rich by mistake. You get rich by actually being intentional, putting in the work. You only get rich by mistake if you were given inheritance, for example. And that sat with me too, because that's the truth. You don't get rich by mistake. And it made me think, actually, if you think deeply, if you've ever written for example, I have written many exams in my life. To become a chartered accountant, I had to read a lot. I had to I had to exert my energy, exert myself to the study of the accounting profession. I remember when I was writing my ICANN exams, I remember that I had to exert myself. I had to put so much energy into becoming an accountant. So what this meant for me was, sometimes I even missed Sunday service if I had Sunday classes. Many times I would even rebel and say, I know I must go to church because I how I live God. But many times you had to sacrifice Saturday and bed parties. You had to sacrifice handout with your friend. In fact, your friends already knew, so they'll be like, no, she's doing ICANN. They would let you, they won't invite you to places anymore. Your social life will go down because you're doing ICANN. ICANN is like a jealous wife. That's the way they told us. I remember one of our teachers saying something like that. She doesn't want you to mingle with any other person. Okay, you have to focus on her. And then when you are done and you have gotten the certificate, you can start partying, you can start going anywhere you want to go to. So this is something that I did, trying to get the ICANN certificate, just to call myself a chartered accountant. I exerted myself to it. I put in so much energy. You can say literally that I was obsessed with being a chartered accountant, because I surrounded myself with everything I can. I surrounded myself with students like me who wanted to be chartered like me. Imagine I was friends with people who didn't care about ICANN. They would draw me back to an extent. But if you're surrounding yourself with students like you, you're surrounding yourself with people like you're doing things, you would be in that line, sort of. So this was how I acted when I wanted to be a chartered accountant. I have done many exams. Even when I did my master's degree, my BSc, I exerted myself so much to it. There's a reason why you go to school, stay in a school environment, stay in a hostel, be with friends, read with friends, have reading groups, because you have to surround yourself with so much information about that thing. And it made me also think, if you want to be fit, for example, you want to be healthy, think about it. If you want to be healthy, if you say, okay, this year I want to be fit, you have to surround you. You can't be fit by mistake. You can't have spiritual growth by mistake. You can't have growth in life by mistake. It is intentional living by design. So, and I'm one of those people who also believes in like this principle of homegrown wisdom, where you can transport a part of your life that is working. Look at the system, look at the things that are working in that life, that part of your life, and say, what can I transport into another part of my life that is not working to make it work? And so, when you think about it, everything that you have done successfully well, you put in so much energy, you put in so much time, you were consistent, you were putting it everything, you were putting in everything to become that person. So that means that to become rich, there is a level of accession that you have to be committed to. There is a consistency you have to be committed to. There is a intentionality you have to surround yourself with information about being rich. Surround yourself with people who are wealthy or who are in wealthy circles or who are on that journey too to making money. You have to be subscribed to YouTube channels like my own. When we talk about money, you have to commit to the life of wealth to actually make money. And that is crazy, okay? It's like a dawning where you're like, ah, that makes sense. Now the balance for me as a moral person, as somewhat, well, I don't want to call myself a moral person, but for the context, because it's a secular conversation, but as a Christian, someone who believes in God, whatever God you believe in, I believe as a Christian that my worth, like scripture actually tells us that a man's worth is not in the abundance of things that he possesses. So my worth is not in the thing that I possess. So that's the balance where this will come in, where you're not now tying your identity to things that you have. You're not tying your identity to, oh, do you know who I am? Like the Nigerian balance, right? So this is actually a conversation we should have. What do you guys think? Do you think that, maybe the word obsession may look like, that's a lot. But do you think deeply about it? Is it making a point? That for you to actually, people that have money, tell us if you have money, you are rich, tell us, come and school us. You're wealthy. You know what I mean by wealthy? I mean Dangote money. Okay, maybe not Dangote money. Some people may not have Dangote money, but they are still wealthy and comfortable and rich. But if you know you're rich, you will know. When you're rich, you will know. When you're rich in money, you would know. So I think so we have to know the balance. Okay, we don't get greedy, and I think the major balance there will be, what can you do for money? So you can say, I can do anything for money. That is obsession. Fine. But I can do anything, whether legal or illegal, is a problem. I can do anything for money is a good thing. That I can wash clothes for money. I can do any chores for money. I just want to make this money. That's okay. But when you now say I can do anything, whether legal, whether illegal, whether kill somebody, whether chop off somebody, I don't bloody care. That's where there's a problem. So I think that that's the balance you now have as someone that's a moral agent to say, okay, because of maybe my Christianity, my Islam, my whatever I believe in, because of God, because of just, general life, being a good person, you shouldn't just do anything for money. You shouldn't scam people for money. That's where the problem is. A lot of people channel their obsession into the negative parts where they are now doing anything for money. They're scamming people. In fact, some people, their scam is just with pen. They will change figures. That is not okay. That is not okay. It's not okay to do anything illegal for money, but it's okay to do anything for money. And I think we must almost we all have to get to that point where we're saying, see, if it's to make 100K here, 200K, as long as it's legal, let me make money. That's how to get rich. If you want to be rich, if you don't want to be rich, it's okay. Calm down, enjoy your life, and be okay. But I'm also of the opinion that whether you're a Christian or as a Christian, let me say that from my own perspective, I believe that wealth is also something God can use to bless people. We have seen people who, because of 50K, they did not pay hospital bill, and that's how they died. So I believe that God can use, and I believe that I'm like a conduit. So money is flowing in and flowing out. It's not, there's no amassing, because for me, I feel like wealth. It's not even feeling. I know that wealth is more of access than ownership. So it's not about how much you actually own, even though that is important in, secular conversations, how much you can save, how much you can earn. Yes, it's good. But then it's more of how much access to finance do you have? So the network you have, the relationships you have, the people that you can call someone and say, we have a need now. Can I raise 500 million with my friends? Access is very, very important. If you want to do a conference now, you need 1 billion. Even if your money in the 1 billion may just be 300 million, the rest will come from other people. That's access, right? When you need money to do something, you have access to do that thing. So that's my perspective about this conversation. Don't do anything illegal just for money. But what are your thoughts, guys? I am actually on my way to work, and I was about to do my skincare when I decided to, just quickly talk about this topic because I was really fascinated by that topic. And that topic has been in my heart since. He has actually shot that video. This YouTuber has done that video a long time ago, but I just needed to talk about it. So let me know your thoughts in this video. And yeah, I would like to see your comments, like, share, subscribe. And yeah, see you guys later.